We change the world and history right here where we're from. It's new beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I appreciate that.
Okay, enough of that. Okay, enough of that. Okay, not already, right? I mean, nobody's doing any crime right now, are they? I mean, okay, good. I'm just checking, just to make sure. I thought they were here for me. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds everybody doing well. I'm doing pretty good. It's Monday morning. It's time to rise and shine if you can. And if you can't, well, pray for the strength to be able to. Either way, it's good being on top of the ground and the ground's not on top of you. Good morning. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is Decisions. Because everything we do in life requires us to make one. And even if you decide not to make one, well, you just did. Good morning. It is a great day, an outstanding day to be alive.
Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take, for the love that
Believe it or not, it is the 27th day of October, 2025. My mom's birthday and a couple other people's birthday. Dr. Moore. Good morning, Mashana. Birthdays today. October birthdays are special, especially for those who were born in October. I'm just saying. October the 27th, 2025. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day, believe it or not, that once it is gone, it will never, ever be again. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should do today that you don't. And more importantly, you don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do this day. So whatever it is that you do with this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day.
I hear your call.
Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live life, you'll always be successful. Because you are never a failure until you quit. We say, give out if you must, rest if you can, but you never, ever, ever give up. Because quitters will never win. And winners Oh, they may fail at a thing or two, but they never quit. So don't you. Don't ever, ever give up. You can fall 100 times. All it takes is 101 to get up. Next up, it is our daily bread, which is how we roll right here, a word from on high. Hopefully some of you guys went to church yesterday. If not, I'll give you a little bit of the word right here this morning, so you can gather yourself. So get up, take a shower, take a shave, whatever it is you got to do to get prepared for this day. Let's get to moving. You're wasting daylight. All right? So we'll be back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What a privilege to be sons and daughters of the King. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's article is titled, Putting Up Hay, and it was written by David Roper. When I was in college, I worked a summer on a ranch in Colorado. One evening, tired and hungry after a long day of mowing hay, I drove the tractor into the yard. Acting like the hotshot I thought I was, I cranked the steering wheel hard left, stamped on the left brake, and spun the tractor around. The sickle was down and swept the legs out from under a 500-gallon gasoline tank standing nearby. The tank hit the ground with a resounding boom. The seam split, and all the gasoline spewed out. The rancher stood nearby surveying the scene. I got off the tractor, stammered an apology, and, because it was the first thing that popped into my mind, offered to work the rest of the summer without pay. The old rancher stared at the wreckage for a moment and turned toward the house. "Let's go have dinner," he drawled. A scrap of a story from Jesus told in Luke 15 passed through my mind, a story about a young man who had done a terrible thing. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you," he cried. He intended to add, "Make me like one of your hired servants," but before he could get all the words out of his mouth, his father interrupted him. In essence, he said, "Let's go have dinner." Such is God's amazing grace. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Luke chapter 15, verses 11 through 24. Jesus continued, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, 'Father, give me my share of the estate.' So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, 'How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am, starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' So they began to celebrate." Let's pray. Dear God, thank you so much that we can even share in the celebration of your forgiveness. Thank you so much that you care for us to bring us out of the depths of sin and into your marvelous light. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Shout, cows are marching all about, and those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high here in the field artillery. Count out your numbers, let us count. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And wherever you go, you will always know that those caissons go rolling along.
Time to rise and shine, people. Get up.
Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Farewell to college joys. We sail and break on day. Through our last night on shore, hail to the morn, until we meet once more. Wishing you a happy voyage home. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in Thee. Through howling gale and shot and shell to win our victory. Send bird horizons is our guide. Our pledge and motto too. We're always ready to or die. I constantly fight for you. On we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, soon to lead our thunder. Attaboys, give them the gun. And we dive, starting a flame from under, off with one terrible roar. We live in vain, go down in flame, for nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First we fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor free. We are proud to claim the title of United States
think that got it. I think we did it. We got enough. We got enough of that this morning. I think we got that covered. Okay. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds everybody doing well. All my fans and friends out there. You know, I'm reminded in 1983 when we'll get back to that later on. But good morning. How's everybody doing? You know, now I got a few things to talk about this morning. Got a special guest coming up at 8:30 this morning. You'll like them. I think you'll like them anyway. Let's just let me first of all, Alabama State football team is finally winning some games. You know, right on. Roll Tide. Did Auburn win? Did Auburn even play? I think they won. I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with it. Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame won too. I believe. Yeah, I believe they did. I'm really not a football fanatic, but if I got to go for somebody, it's going to go Notre Dame, and Notre Dame number one, and the Tide number two, and number three would be Auburn. Okay, because I live in Alabama, and you got to pick one of the three, or one of the two. You got to roll with the Tide, or you got to go War Eagle. I mean, you got to do one of those other. Now, me, I'm in the middle, so but I roll with the Tide, and then I get down to the Eagle thing there. Okay, but go Irish. The Irish are my team, hometown team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know most people don't even know where they let Notre Dame is. It's in South Bend, Indiana, which is the place I hail from, of course. Now, I haven't been there in a long time, but when I went there in 2020 to bury my sister, of course. And that's the last time I've been back. It hurts to even go there sometimes. But I got to go home sooner or later. I may get a box ride home one of these days. I don't know if I want to be buried at home. I mean, does it really make a difference where they bury you? I don't think so. Same dirt. But anyway, good morning to you. How's everybody doing? Okay. Now, before we hold on, I got to give you the life lessons today. And life lessons today, it's a very simple one. It's not anything complicated. But if you think about it, I think you will understand exactly before we get to anything. I think you'll understand life lessons today. And here they are right here. Life lessons. You know, we all have a book of our lives. And yes, there are some chapters we would rather not share. But no one's life is the sum of just one chapter. So it is up to you to make sure that your story is worth reading. Okay? So don't ever stop writing the story. It's not over yet. And never, ever give up. That is the lessons of life today. Because we all got a story. Every last one of us got a story. We all got chapters. And don't let one chapter of your life, destroy the greatness within you. We all make mistakes. We all do stupid things. Trust me, before the day is over, I'm pretty sure I'm going to fall in that category. But again, the sum of one's life is not wrapped up in one chapter. So keep writing the book, okay? And make it a book that somebody wants to read. I get tired of reading books about other people, the greatness of other people. So I want to read my own book one day. Of course, that means I got to write it. I did start writing a book one time though. It's called The Journey, and so yeah, okay. At this rate, it'll probably never get written because writing a book, anybody who wrote a book, it is tiresome. It is arduous. It's interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, Mayor Pete. Yeah, yeah, Mayor Pete and his husband. Yeah. Well, man, that's probably one of the reasons why I never went back to South Bend when I found that guy was running it things. Although I think wasn't he the transportation secretary under Biden? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The Hoosiers. But again, the Hoosiers are cool. But I'm from South Bend. You can't. I mean, I think the Hoosiers are down in Peru, Indiana, someplace like that. I don't know where they are. But congratulations to the Hoosiers too. I mean, hey, they kicking butt. I mean, I don't think they've ever been in a national thing since I've been alive. So that's good. That's good. We like the Hoosiers, okay? But again, the Hornets did an outstanding job this weekend. I mean, it's kind of like playing a high school team, but okay, but they won. They won. So and so I'm going to have to. Okay, all you got to do is win one more game and make sure it's not cold, and then I go to a game. I'll go out. I just hate sitting in the place all day for 3 hours. That's just too long for me. Do they have maybe I'll talk to President Ross, and he'll let me come sit in the president box with him. I don't want to mess up things, but I mean, when you have a dignitary like me up there, it seems like to me that the brother ought to get some treatment, some special treatment, okay, to go in there, okay. Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, so good morning to all of you. You know, again, let me get congratulations to Alabama State for the A&M win in the Magic City Classic. I've never been to one. I'm not that much of a football fan, but if Notre Dame was in it, I'd go. I mean, and nothing wrong with Alabama State, but Alabama State's it's kind of like people telling me, well, you need to go down to Demopolis, or where's the coast here? You need to go down to what's that place in the South, Alabama, where they got the water? What I don't know what it is, and it's one of them cities. Well, let me ask something. Now, just think about this for a second. I'm a man who lived on the shores of Honolulu and Waikiki on the island of Oahu. Okay, rode across uh, uh, to all the other islands. Now, do you really believe that I would be impressed by going down to the shores of Florida or going to the shores of Alabama? Seriously, do you think that would impress me? Of course not. I mean, I've lived, and I've been in Europe and a few other places. So, yeah, y'all get to come up with something better than me going down and watch the water. And the Alabama River is so dirty. Okay, you can sit anywhere, or you can sit anywhere you want to at the game. I didn't know that. Well, I've never been to one, so okay. But I don't see no comfortable. I go past the stadium out there, and the seats don't look that comfortable. I got to have some, I got to have some comfortable seats and some cloth seats. Okay, I don't want to sit down on a cold concrete slab like at Crampton Bowl. I just can't do it. And especially not pay for it. I don't think Pete. I don't know if Pete actually went to Notre Dame. Um, uh, uh, Pete, whatever his name, Pete. Which Pete you talking about anyway? What about hey, who's you did good? Who's you doing good? That's true. Um, oh yes, Willie, you're absolutely right. Uh, got a couple of relatives over there. Used to be relatives anyway, but my son's relatives, they're over in the islands right now getting pounded. And it's every year thing. It's an every year thing over there. I mean, when the Earth starts its winter, welcoming the winter. Um, every year, I don't know how you live there. It's kind of like living in New Orleans, you know, in a bowl, and you wonder why when the wind comes and when the rain comes, it fills up the water. It's filled with water because it's like a bowl city. It's down in the bowl. But we do prayers. We do present our prayers to our friends over in Jamaica, to the Rap Jam community down there. So we hope, folks in Kingston, we pray that this it's not as bad as it could be, and it's a little bit better. The good Lord, has providence over that, of course. But we do hope that if you got friends and family live in Jamaica, pray for them that this storm does not do as much damage as it could do. Last time I checked, the winds were 140 miles per hour. So that was wow. No one's where. Oh, nobody's there. Hey, listen, let's give them. I think they're going to start. I think Alabama State's going to start getting more people. All you got to listen. Nobody wants to go see a loser. I mean, so you got to put up some. When I got here, there was another guy that was in charge. I got in '91, and this guy seemed to win pretty good a good amount of games. I don't know I forgot what his name was. Marcus. What was his name? But anyway, he was a pretty good coach, I guess. At least they were winning. And listen, they can say what they want to say. People judge you by how many wins you win in football. It's got nothing to do. I mean, hopefully you'll make some men out of some of those boys along the way. But again, you can have the best intent in the whole wide world, but if you do not win, you won't be there long. And you can make these some of the greatest teenagers, some of the greatest young adults you ever want to see. Now, a great coach can still do both. Let's just take Lou Holtz. Let's take Dan Devine. Let's take Nick Saban, Bear Bryant. These guys. I mean, they were the creme de la creme of coaches, and I never even played football. I mean, I played one game, and then the guy hit me, and then he acted like he was trying to hurt me, which wasn't a big deal, except he was on my team. And so I said, well, if you're trying to kill me, what's the other guy going to do? So I said, no, we just going. I took off the pads. I took off all the stuff, and I said, well, I tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to Job Corps. Okay, this was high school. I said, I got to go. I mean, a guy, my own guy trying to hurt me, and he was glad about it. He tried to kill my knees. Okay, so I'm just saying, you might want to, if you're going to play football, just go in there knowing that you may have crazy people on your team that may try to hurt you too. Anyway, so we just want to thank those guys for um, Alabama State for winning a nice game. That's good. Pete made it. I don't know if Pete. You talking about Pete, the former mayor, or are you talking about Pete Hegseth? 'Cause I don't know if Pete went to Notre Dame or not. I think he went to Pete Hegseth went to. Did he go to Yale or someplace like that? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not under him, so we ain't gonna worry about it. But anyway, so moving right along to other things. Yeah, but we do pray for our I should call them, see how they're doing over there, as a matter of fact. But I'll do that later on because I don't have the number. But we'll check with we'll go to Jamaica and see how the relatives and how the friends and family are getting along over there. So we will yeah, we do that. I don't know what time they're on. Are they on Central Standard Time over in Jamaica? Uh, but I'm pretty sure if things go terribly bad over there, we'll be on a fundraising tour. So congratulations to Alabama State. It's glad to say they won something because most of the time they lose, but we appreciate them winning one. Okay, at least win this big one here. I saw the governor on Facebook welcome them in, giving us a education in the Magic City Classic, the '84. I wonder, does anybody know, has Governor Ivy ever been to one of the games? Okay, because I hate when politicians take advantage of the situation and never participated in the situation. I mean, has she ever been down there? I mean, has she ever been? Did Hunt go there? Who did any governor ever show up at the Magic City Classic? Now they're always showing up at Alabama and Auburn games, but do they? I mean, have they ever? I mean, and we certainly would have recognized her. We certainly would have recognized the governor at the game. I'm just saying, newspapers would have been all over the place. Anyway, the Hornets 5-2 regular, 3-1 in SWAC, so they do it. Okay, defeated its historic rival Alabama A&M, who is 4-4 and 1-3, 56-13. They just had a bad day. Okay, that's all. Alabama State coach Eddie Robinson Jr. remains undefeated in the Magic City Classic. Well, let's not brag too much now. Let's not brag too much, coach, because 56-13 means the team on the other end barely showed up. I mean, okay, I'm just saying, let's not. It's kind of like playing a high school team. So nothing to celebrate here, but we're glad you won. But let's not take it to, let's not act like you really beat somebody that was competitive. Okay, I'm just saying, it's good to win. I'm good. It's good to win, but let's not act. I mean, 56-13 is not a game. Okay, that's not a game. That's a scrimmage. Okay, I'm just saying, let's not think we. Okay, I'm just saying. We all got so much into what happened October the 4th. On that same day, on October the 4th, on that same day, people, there's a woman who shot another man, I believe, in the head. And her name, what was her name? And it happened. It happened on Polk Street, which is I think Polk is somewhere off of Ann Street. Okay, 34-year-old woman was in serious condition over there. I think on Mount Meigs Road. Anyway, so remember them too. Okay, now something else that I have to bring up this morning, that okay, the mayor and his wanting to appoint Mr. Donald Watkins to a particular position with the city of Montgomery. Now, me personally, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with giving somebody a second shot. Now, I think the only problem here is that, and I think this is what brought it to a head, Mr. Mayor, 120 grand for a guy who hasn't proven himself in the city of Montgomery in a long time. I mean, because I think that's the issue. It is not the issue of giving somebody a chance. Now, some people don't want him because he made a mistake. They did some stupid things, like we all have. We done stupid things. People don't want to give him a mistake because he went to jail. Well, yeah. Hey, listen. Again, either we going to be. You remember that who did the thing where his son left. We just got done with that a couple seconds ago. Son left, thought he got the big head, so he's gonna go and take all his inheritance, and he gonna be balling. Then he found out that balling ain't what it used to be. Okay, then he ended up slopping pigs. But his father showed it the class act that he was. Didn't, at least the story. That's what the story says. He didn't say, well, you made your bed, so sleep in it, and we're gonna move on from you. He didn't say that. He said, come on back, we welcome. And they had a feast for him. They had a feast for him. So I'm thinking, okay, that's the Christian thing to do. Okay, now y'all got to make your mind up in this place. Either we give people a second chance. I do think $120,000 initially, going past it's a little bit of change for a guy who hasn't proven himself. Now he has been in business though. He does have experience with coming up with business ideas, and he won't be in charge. He'll answer to somebody, which is cool. But do we really want to? Shouldn't we show people that this is what you do? You know how many men out there right now that can't get a job because they got something on their record, or they got a record of making a stupid mistake years ago. I mean, seriously, is that where we want to continue to go? I mean, I like to hear. I like to hear somebody make the point why we shouldn't give a guy a second chance. It just doesn't bother me at all. First of all, he's more qualified to do it than I am. So and did we turn somebody down that was eminently more qualified than him to give him the job? I don't know. But I think the mayor is the mayor. He won the elections. So don't we get don't the small business director ASU is not going. Well, I don't know what does it take. What do the qualifications say? I don't know if they're qualified or not. I know I'm not qualified for it. That's the only one I can speak for. I'm not qualified to, So here's what I learned living in this city all these years. And here's what I learned. It doesn't make any difference what job is available. It doesn't make any difference who gets put in the job. Because no matter what happens, somebody is going to complain about it. Right, the personnel board. Right. So is it the personnel board that I know they turned him down for that money, but I think that had something to do. I believe that had something to do with the paying him over the scheduled payment at the moment. I think that's got nothing to do with his past life or anything like that. Is that right? Because the only reason why I had to go before the personnel board, I believe, is because of the amount of money that the mayor wants to pay him to start off. So I think that's what that is. I don't believe it has anything to do with his past or anything like that. Hey, he paid for it, and he's still paying. Matter of fact, they got $13 million to go, so they're gonna be paying a long time. Okay, and brother needs a job to help pay some of that off. Okay, so I think that's what it is. The personnel board is the personnel board. That's true for anybody, but I think it had something to do with the money he wanted to be paid. I think the job. Somebody told me $72,000 a year. He wants to go to 120 right off the bat. So I think that's what that's all about. I think that's the only reason why the personnel board got involved in this thing. But we'll see. We'll see. Under Trump's administration, you be qualified. Y'all. Well, see, there are political appointments that don't go through a personnel board. Okay, they're political appointments, and the mayor has The mayor has a couple of those I know he can make without going through the personnel board. Okay, but this has something to do with the money. Okay, so I'm thinking, oh, what is it? Oh, he had his second chance when he got out of prison. Well, that may be so too, but you still got to work. You still got to have a job. You still got to do something. I mean, do we punish people all the time? I mean, do we punish people forever because they made a mistake? I mean, you can't make a living. You got to live outside. Got to live in a trailer. Got to live in a barrel or live in a box. I mean, does that mean that? Is that what that means? Because there are a lot of people in this city right now. And you want to talk about some of the homeless people? Let's talk about some of those homeless people. Some of those homeless people are men who are in their 40s now who got caught up with a girl when they were when they were 17 and the girl was 15, and so now they won't let them live in certain neighborhoods. They can't live places. They can't get certain kind of jobs. I mean, you want to know why we got so many homeless? Because in Alabama, and that's why I can't. That's where my conservative, but I can't like them sometimes. Because you do something at 17 that involves a girl, they charge you at 17 in the state of Alabama. You can be 14 years old and get married. And if anybody thinks if you marry a 14-year-old, you're not going to do the wild thing with her, y'all must be crazy. Okay, because something's going to happen. Okay, and who would marry a 14-year-old? I don't know. Maybe a 17-year-old. I don't know. But anyway, so her parents, the person I know, parents went out and called the police and blah, 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 blah. And so now this guy's 42 years old now and can't seem to get a job because certain jobs won't allow him. So some of our stupid laws has created some of this homelessness that we talk about. And a guy ain't going to walk around with a sign on his back and say, yeah, I got caught. I got caught eating the peanut butter and jelly when I was 17 years old, and here 17 years later, almost 20 something years later, and you still won't allow me to get a job. So, we as a society have caused a lot of this homelessness between people. I mean, really, 17? Really, she 15? Okay, really? What's the hey? Not big, not much of a difference there. I can understand 18 because at 18 you're supposed to be so legally was emancipated at 18. I mean, I think you can be whatever the word that I think it's emancipated. You can be your age of majority. I think at 18. Now in Alabama, however, um, uh, well, again, maybe hey, maybe the guy didn't know he was defrauding the money. Maybe he didn't know. Oh, let me see who this is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Let me give you a little info, okay?
I'll go right ahead.
James Seal, he's an attorney in Montgomery with Hill, Carter, Franco, and Cole.
Mm-hmm.
He's the man on that board. He's the key man on that board. That man is not going to be hired for that amount of money that the mayor wants to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What you need to try to do, call Hill, Carter, Carter, Franco, and Cole, okay? And ask him to call you back, to return, ask for his number, that you need to talk to him about some personnel, man. No, don't even tell what you need to talk to him about,
Mm-hmm.
but just tell him who you are. You are the man, okay, in the city. So he needs to become familiar with you.
Yeah.
But that's the key right there. He has been on over just every little board that there is.
Mm-hmm.
He has the contract with the State Department of Education to provide legal services to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why our kids can't win any cases in the city of Montgomery or in the state because of their law firm. He dibbles and dabbles in a lot of stuff. He's one of those power-hungry men, and he's got the hand to make things change, okay, or not to change. So what I was suggesting, if anyone knows him, tell Kevin who James Seal is. And I know someone out in the audience knows him, but that's who you need to call to find out information about this matter.
But it was about the money, right? It was about the money. It wasn't.
It's about the money, but in the background is also the matter that happened to him.
Okay.
The one that he and his dad was involved in, that big case, okay,
Right.
against them, where they were I've forgotten his involvement, but I believe he was sort of involved in it too. But I would have to go back and Google and all of that. But see, I remember those things occurring here in the States. Do you remember what happened?
No, unless you're talking about that case when I first got here about what John Knight and them.
No, I am talking about his daddy, where he stole money from Charles Barkley and other professionals.
Yeah. They had that in the paper last week. Yeah.
Oh, it was in the paper?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, a reference was made to it. I didn't know.
But I sent you the information about when you first started talking about it. I sent all the case information to you. I didn't read it because I was familiar with it. But you need to read things that people send to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we don't send you any information just to be, I'm gonna send Kevin this right here. Yeah. No, we send you information because we want you to delve into this and just find out what's going on. Mm-hmm. So it's more to the story, Kevin.
Okay.
Get James Seal on. He's an attorney.
Right. Because you know he's not gonna talk.
Well, you can try it. You can talk to him in general. Okay. You don't have to talk about that specific case. Right. Tell him you want to talk about the policies, not the individual case. Okay. That's key.
All right. Okay, well, I'll do that. Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I got nothing to do. Let's see, what is this one guy saying? Businesses complaining about cleaning blood off their. I did see that the other day off there. I guess that means walls. They're not thinking about little man, small business czar. That's true. Yeah, I got you. I knew what you were saying there, Greg. Matter of fact, there was a article last week about that going on because of the crime and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. But again, no matter who's in charge, whether it's Todd or whether it's Bobby, Emory, whoever it is, somebody's going to complain about what you do, and it really doesn't make any difference who's in charge. It really doesn't. Now, there are some policies. Now, I must admit that some of the policies of the mayor, the current mayor, I take exception to. I mean, not wanting to enforce the loitering policies, things of that nature. But again, if we're so, we do things backwards. When we talk about crime, we spend a whole lot of time on the little stuff, okay, but not the big stuff. But if you don't handle the little stuff, I guess, then the big stuff will come. And that's where we are right now. We just need to have now. My good friend El Milliner, he just think everybody should go to jail. I don't think so. I think we should have a trash since we want to clean up the city anyway. I think what you got to do is you can take people who loiter on the street. Hey, they breaking the law. Make them pick up paper. Make them pick up the paper to all the places they like to loiter sometimes. Let them do that kind of thing, or something. I don't know, but it's a tough job because if you spend a lot of time chasing many people, the small crime, then I hate to be a hypocrite, but then you don't have time to get the big people. But then they're doing the double crime, the big crimes. But on the other hand, if you don't mess, it is. I don't know. We gotta put. Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to pick people up and put a telephone book on them. Okay, as long as it ain't me, I'm good. Okay, we need to put the telephone book on. Okay, we need to. Okay, I'll tell the boys. They haven't watched Dragnet in a long time. That's the way we used to do it. We just get a telephone book, beat the hell out you, and then We didn't have to worry about seeing you again. The police didn't have to worry about seeing you again. Anyway, move right on to other things. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Chicago has finally, the law enforcement in Chicago has finally act like they're law enforcement. The police chief of Chicago Police came out on the thing the other day and said, if you, okay, and listen, and this is the kind of conversation that people going to have with their folks. Because everybody want no kings this and no kings that, and they get against ICE here and ICE there. I don't like the way the ICE is doing their job, but it is their job. And he said, Chicago police chief puts the word out: do not box a law enforcement entities in a place. In other words, do not bring your car and box people in, because as far as they know, you're getting ready to ambush them, and they will open up a can of whoop ass on you. Okay, whether it's federal, whether it is state, he said all of those people are law enforcement agents. He said, okay, they will kill you. Okay, don't ram a law enforcement car or any vehicle. It can be seen as having used deadly force against a police officer. They will kill you. Okay, I ain't mad at him. That's kind of like the guy down in Florida said, "We're gonna kill you stone cold dead, graveyard dead." They're getting tired of this stuff too. They're just doing their job. Now we may not like what they do, but they doing what they're supposed to do. Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. I think that'll put that son of a gun in jail. The mayor of Chicago, but they said they will kill you. Don't ram their car or any vehicle. And they look at that as deadly force. You are using deadly force against them. Don't run around chasing ICE people, because we don't know why you're there. Are you there to do us harm? Are you there to do it? Because I got to tell you something. I don't think you're going to get away with that in Montgomery, Alabama. I don't think you're going to get away with blocking in police officers. They gonna take you out. They gonna listen. Them cell phones y'all like to have with that camera, and nothing wrong with doing the camera thing. Nothing wrong with doing it. Do it from a long way off, and all you got to do is make your vision bigger in the camera. But don't be running up to it, because Chicago ain't playing. Not only is it Chicago, it's Los Angeles. It's all these places where liberals live. Okay, and there is I think they're paying. Listen, y'all get. I think they're paying restitution now. But again, y'all take me on one thing to another. Let me talk about this thing in Chicago first. Then we get back to Mr. Watkins. I mean, now let it go on record. I support the mayor's right to choose whoever he wants to do the work. I support the right, but I don't support paying an exorbitant amount of money for somebody who we don't know how he's going to get the job done. But elections have consequences. The man can hire anyone. Steve is not a dumb man. Okay, I would hope that he has checked out my friend's resume and knows knows how it is, and he will he got a guy who could qualify for the job. But here's another thing too. I don't know what makes y'all get so upset when somebody gets elected and they hire people that they know. Why wouldn't you? I mean, seriously, why wouldn't you hire people that you know? Because you got to hire people that you trust. You can't just hire anybody. You have to hire people that you trust. Okay. You got to hire people that you trust, or who's going to have some allegiance to you. What's up there?
How's it going, Kevin?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Hey, look here. I want to say this. You're right. The mayor can hire whoever he wants to, and it's a fine time to be selective now when you got Donald Trump surrounding himself with criminals. Hegseth beat his wife and been in jail and DUIs and everything else. and he's the doggone commander of
Wait a minute. Why
the
you gonna
greatest
talk
armed
about
forces
somebody?
in the world.
Why you gonna talk about somebody's wife? She. I mean, come on. She ain't in office.
Yeah, but if you're in law enforcement, Kevin, if you have a domestic violence arrest, even an arrest, Kevin, the likelihood of you getting a job in law enforcement or being able to keep it is slim to none, because they would not hire you. In fact, you can't even carry a weapon, and yet you got a man who's Secretary of Defense. I'm not going to say Secretary of War, but Secretary of doggone Defense.
Yeah.
Over the greatest military in the world, and he's blemished, and along with other cabinet officials
And
that
tell me,
Trump has
and,
put in office.
wait, do me a favor. Who isn't blemished?
Well, Kevin, and I agree with you, but what I'm saying is you can't be hypocrites and selective and very selective and cherry pick, morality when you got the president, the 34 count felon.
Oh, there you go with that. We all know that was a political move. We all know that was a political move, and they was trying to get rid of the guy.
Half of the brothers and sisters would tell you that they're in prison and don't need to be in there because it was a political or bad move.
I just got done talking about that. I think a lot of folks in jail, they ought not be there, and there are some out here that ought to be. There's some out here that ought to be in there.
Exactly, Kevin. But the issue that I have with it all is that we want to be selective when we're talking about that. No one wants to talk about the brothers and sisters who are incarcerated and may be innocent, or the innocent ones that are being electrocuted and killed. But yet you're going to go and defend, a president that has been accused of sexual assault, which he's been found guilty in the jury. And then not only that,
40 years ago, Kevin, some woman lied. They got no proof.
Kevin,
they didn't know where
it wasn't 40 years ago, Kevin. It was in the 1990s.
That's almost 40 years ago,
Kevin. But yet we're going to go and convict Bill Cosby and put him away for almost 10 years.
You don't think I was for them sticking it to Bill Cosby? Bill Cosby,
of course you wasn't.
Bill Cosby only that he had a white woman. I mean, that's just what it was.
Kevin, of course, exactly. And what I'm talking about is the hypocrisy of it all. Well, how there are double standards when it comes to us and them. And then another thing too, Kevin, you got some law enforcement agencies, have been commissioned to, if you find ICE agents going around arresting folks without warrant, they can be arrested themselves because they would be brought up on state charges. And state charges. And the thing is, no one can argue Constitution because it's not even constitutional for ICE to do what they're doing. So the thing is, it's just all over the place, and it's kind of like do as I don't or do as I do or whatever. I don't know however you would say it, but I just say all the way hypocrisy in that situation. That's the issue I have. So
can I ask you a question? You'll be honest with me.
Sure, Kevin.
Okay. You ever been hypocritical about something?
Kevin, yeah, but put it this way, Kevin. I put it this way. Sometimes, Kevin, we forget. And I'll be the first. No, Kevin. Let me explain to you, and I say this to you. I tell a lot of young people, I'm not going to tell you what not to do or how to do it, because when I was young, I was crazy too, or I might have made some choices that wasn't always the best. You tell these kids, don't go out there and drink, don't go out there and do this, do whatever the case, as though you're the super religious Christian person. But they would respect you more if you was to tell them, hey, look, I made mistakes myself. But you don't go out there and, as an adult, as a grown man, as a senior citizen, and make the same mistakes you made before, and your only excuse is, well, haven't you done something wrong? Man, you're a doggone near 80 years old. You should be mentoring your grandchildren.
But again, none of us are perfect. None.
Yeah, how long is that excuse going to last?
And let's talk.
It's one thing to make a mistake, and it's one thing to go out there and deliberately.
But let's talk about domestic violence. It's the biggest fraud. It's the biggest fraud against men that there is. A woman can knock the heebie-jeebie hell out of you, and you defend yourself. And because you got the scratch and she don't, then the men end up going to jail.
Kevin, I agree in certain circumstances. Yes, I agree with you, Kevin, on that. However, let it be your daughter, your wife, your mother, your child, even your son, and see how forgiving and open you will be to that statement you just made. But I agree. Sometimes people, can take that stuff and play it a little too far. But let it happen to your daughter, your son, your mother.
I hear you. But just because somebody get charged with it, don't mean they did it.
Kevin, I agree 100%.
A man's got
on
a
that.
right to defend himself against women. Take that too far sometimes. They sit there and knock the hell out of you and beat you all up and scratch you all up, and then the police show up. Well, hell, it must be the guy's fault. No, he was trying to defend himself.
Kevin, trust me. I never judge a man what goes on in his home because you're not in there and you never know what goes on behind closed doors. I agree with you on that. But you can But when a person is just blatant, downright out guilty of something, that dog won't hunt.
But you don't know.
Said,
Wait, how's a woman going to said the president attacked me, but she couldn't remember where it was?
Kevin, when you got 20 different women, more than 20 different women saying that, and it's a pattern. And then when you have a president talking about grabbing women by the private parts and they won't do anything about it, all of that feeds into a narrative of his lifestyle.
Wait. So you talk about a man who does what most men do in their life, and now,
Kevin,
wait a minute.
I can see, Kevin, I can see a 1 or 2 off. I can see that. But when you got a pattern of that type of behavior, and then you're telling people on The View or whatever the show was that if your daughter wasn't your daughter, you're a dater. All that type.
Listen. He just said. Listen, maybe I don't.
Kevin,
I don't know.
There you go. So you can't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You cannot defend the undefendable.
So here's the question I ask you, and I ask everybody. If the man is so bad, like everybody, like a lot of you think that he is, I think he's got some peculiar ways, personally myself. But if the man is that bad, then explain to me, if everybody else was so much better, why couldn't they beat him?
Kevin, people don't get out there to vote. They didn't think they wanted to get.
No, hold on. He got almost 80 million votes. A lot of people got out there and voted.
Kevin, and I'm gonna put it this way, and I'm not, I put it this way. He's a billionaire.
Exactly.
On paper, supposedly, per his mouth, supposedly a successful businessman, right? The economy, they viewed him as the type of person that knew how to make money or whatever, and that was solely alone. They said, you know what, morality, we're not electing a priest. All of a sudden they're not electing a priest.
And we're not.
Right. But then when Obama ran for president, they wanted to accuse him of being a Muslim and everything, and we shouldn't elect a Muslim and all this other stuff, whatever it is.
The book that the president put out, My Father's Son, pretty much said he would be a Muslim.
Yeah. Kevin, let's say he was.
Okay.
Right. Let's say he was. But Kevin, hold on. Let's say he was. Mm-hmm. But just as you just said, we're not electing a priest.
That's true.
Right? Religion shouldn't matter, right?
Well, what you believe does matter.
See what I'm saying, Kevin?
What you believe
does exactly
matter. It applies to public policy, I mean.
So you see the benefit of the doubt and the double standards.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden what you believe does matter.
Well, let me ask you, did you want President Clinton to be put out of the White House?
No.
You didn't? How come he was getting the BJ in there?
Kevin, yes, yep, he had his issues, Kevin. But what I am saying is the thing. Kevin, hold on, wait, Kevin. Listen to me very carefully.
Yeah.
The reason why I said no, because back then the same people that voted to impeach him for having inappropriate relations in the Oval Office voted not to impeach Trump for doing the same doggone thing. Hypocritical.
Wait. All we got is what women have been lying, Kevin, since. Wait a minute. There's a part in the Bible where a woman lied on one of God's chosen men, lied on him and had him put in jail. So women been lying about rape,
Kevin,
since the beginning of
time. Well, if that is the case and he is so innocent, why are they not releasing the Epstein files, Kevin? Why are they not swearing in that one vote from Arizona that can actually vote to release those Epstein files?
Yeah, why? I don't know why. Maybe a whole lot of people in there. A lot of people don't want to know that they knew Epstein. I don't know.
Kevin, Trump runs the Congress, and it's a shame.
Trump don't
because
run
the Congress was elected. Kevin, the Congress was elected by the people.
Trump does not.
Kevin, if they buck against him, he would have them primaried, Kevin. And then another thing, Kevin, you ever heard of oppositional research?
Yeah, I heard it.
You ever heard of that? I guarantee you, Trump has something on every last one of those individuals, including as we always
then it
know,
sucks to be them.
Graham.
Then it sucks to be them.
Graham for one.
Yeah.
Graham.
Let me get another caller because
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get a mop here and get the tears about the floor here. Anyway, no evidence of payment. Why didn't Joe Biden release the Epstein file? Exactly. I think that's think that's a good question. Why didn't he? I don't have a clue why he didn't. Okay. Let me see. Who's a hypocrite? Who's a hypocrite? Tell me what I'm hypocritical about. And that's not what you are saying about moral values. Well, again, we are selective about who we want to have moral values and who we accept. Okay. I'm just saying, uh, so I'm not, I mean, we all are human beings. We all have done things that are absolutely stupid. Okay. We do things, and we've all done something under the cloak of privacy that we don't want nobody to ever know we did it. Think for a second. What have you done? Go ahead. I'll give you a couple seconds. Yeah, keep thinking. I'll give you a little more time. Okay. What have you done that if it ever came to the light of day, you would be totally embarrassed? I'll give you a couple seconds here. I'll let you listen. I'll let you think about it for a couple minutes. Let me know when you get the thought in. Okay. Okay. We don't hire a president to teach us moral values. That's why we go to church. We hire the pastor to do that. Okay. We hire the pastor to do that. Martin needs to go to Epstein Island and do some fishing. Okay, well, I'll let him know. Why didn't? Here's Charles. Two wrongs don't make a right. Everybody says that when we catch their guy doing the same thing that you complain about our guy does. Everybody says that. Well, two wrongs don't make a right. Okay, I would agree. But why is it that Democrats and liberals only think about that when they get caught? Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No evidence of payment. Watkins Jr. was ordered to pay $13.85 million in joint restitution in the 2019. That's true, he was. As of October 2025, no records show that he has paid it. Bro, it's gonna take a while to come up with $13 million. Matter of fact, I'm pretty secure in saying that they may not never get that paid. I don't know. But again, who can pay that? Really, who can? That's why I need a job so he can start paying on that thing. Okay. Sometimes I do believe they give penalties. They know people cannot pay. If I'm broke already, how in the hell am I going to pay $13 million? If I can't get a job, how can I pay $13 million back in restitution? Seriously, common logic and reason. How can I do that? So now you make it where I can't get a job. You got my face all plastered all on the news and everything. I can't get a job, but I'm supposed to pay $13 million. As a matter of fact, so what they're telling him is that you can never work anyplace because every time you work someplace, we're just going to take your money. So why in the hell go to work? And I'd like to know how that works anyway, from a legal standpoint. How do you take people's every last dime? How do you do that? So what, you trying to make them homeless forever? I don't know what they did. I don't know all the nuances of that, but I do know one thing. Nobody should be punished to the extent that they cannot work. Even here in Montgomery, the guy was telling you about 42 years old, did something with a 15-year-old girl when he was 17, and now this guy can't work. This guy can't get a job. Car lots are hiring. I don't know if car lots are hiring or not. Is anybody buying cars anymore? I'm getting tired of putting my car on another street so the guy won't come pick it up because brother got problems, trying to get a job. Hey, but I do have an interview tomorrow. So I'm just trying to make sure I can get a job where I don't have to give up the podcast. Okay. That's my problem. I'm trying to, because once they find out who I am, then they be all upset with a brother. So I'm trying to get a job where I can sort of work for myself. Two wrongs don't make it right. Boy, I tell you. Now, I understand the $13 million. I understand that. But again, how you going to pay it without a job? Really, how you going to pay $13 million fine if you can't get a job? Okay. You're never going to pay it back anyway. But how can you even think about paying it back if we won't give you a job? If everywhere you go, you get a job, people, I mean, it's like a scarlet letter on your head. It's like a scarlet letter on your head where, hey, don't hire me because I got convicted of this. Can I get a job? No, Mr. Watkins, we can't do that here. Okay, then. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, so how you supposed to get a job? Okay, car lots of I don't know about if car lots are hiring or not. Uh, but if they are, I may have to go there and look at one of them. I wonder what I make a good car salesman. I wonder if I can make it. I wonder what I. Anyway, another story coming up in Alabama. Did you know Winn-Dixie stores are closing? 18 Alabama stores are due to restructure, and the Winn-Dixie here in Montgomery is on the restructuring list. As a matter of fact, the Winn-Dixies that are going to close at in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, two in Birmingham, um, Anniston, they're going to close theirs. Fultondale sold to Food City. Trustville sold to Food City. Jasper sold to Food City. 10 Schillinger Road in Mobile, that one's closing. Mackenzie Street in Foley, that one's closing. Are being turned over to somebody else. 231 in Wetumpka, that one's closing. 4724 Mobile Highway is closing. We got a Winn-Dixie over there. Here's one. 7946 Vaughn Road in Montgomery, it's closing. 3625 Highway 14 in Millbrook, it's closing. And 701 East Main Street in Prattville is being sold to Piggly Wiggly. So in a while, you probably won't see, you probably won't see Winn-Dixie over there. Okay, I'm just saying. Now I got a question to ask you guys this morning, and since we like to talk about education around here, and everybody has all this pride thing going on, where where they are fond of their college, which is great. We like educated people. I mean, it's better than if I'm in the woods and you have a doctorate in gender studies. Well, that probably won't do me much good. But if you know a whole lot about nature, then we can talk. Especially if you got a doctorate in there, I'm gonna trust you because that's science. But let me ask you a question: Has the and this is a serious question. Has the need for a college degree outside of the sciences been voided? Okay, so I'm just talking. Has the need for a college degree outside the sciences has it been voided? And so what do I mean? What do I mean? There are some jobs in America right now that used to need a college degree, and you had to know a little something about it to get a job. Well, some of those jobs are going away. Okay, and I'm reading a letter by Quentin Ross from the president of Alabama State, and he makes some good points, but he says sensational journalism may attract attention. He said, but let's focus on the facts. Most people carry some form of debt, wherever large or small, good or bad. The same is true for students across the country. Nearly every institution of higher education has graduates who incur debt in pursuit of their degrees. But here's the problem. Is the degree worth the debt? Student debt is a national issue. So why, with all the varying student debt on college campuses and Alabama State University being singled out? I don't know. Maybe for social media clicks, and that's a possibility. But what makes this story noteworthy? Well, let me use this as a teachable moment. Now, this is Quentin Ross. According to the College of Distinction, Alabama State University remains one of the most affordable options in Alabama with an annual tuition. However, students must still pay. They get all these they get some things, but they still got to pay for housing, food, books, or other essentials, leading many of them to take out federal loans as students do nationwide. But here's here is the problem with college degrees today. Which college degree is worthless now? Which one is worth? Don't mean a thing. Well, so I did some study over the weekend because we keep getting our kids. We keep telling our kids, go to school, get a college degree. Go to school, get a college degree. Okay. Now, Marion, the man's only. Okay, let me get Marion. The man has only been in office less than a year. So how are you going to put everything on him? What we are getting is a reflex from the Biden administration that is still going on right now. Okay, I'm just saying. Just leave it alone. General business degree. Okay. Oversaturation, lack of focus reduces employability. Specialize in digital marketing, business analytics, product management for better prospects. Okay. General business administrator. It's almost with AI on scene. Okay. With AI on scene. And some people say, well, let's just talk about some of the money. They get all these degrees and all these degrees, and the average salary is below $100,000 for some of those jobs that these people get. Okay, but let's say for limited financial means, 72% have household incomes below $100,000 of the families, and 48%, these are the families below $60,000. Okay, so I believe that this whole we have to revamp the education system in America, because what we are doing to some of our kids, we're hyping them with all of this debt, and they can barely get a job. And you can't bankrupt school debt. Here's one right here. There's a decline in mechanical engineering. The reason for the decline, well, impacted by automation and offshoring of manufacturing tasks. So we keep sending our jobs overseas, like Apple and all the places like that. Now you can get niche specializations. Okay, cross-disciplinary skills are needed in order to do that. But mechanical engineer, well, you need mechanical engineers if you send everything overseas to be made by people who work for $2 a day. And here's one. This is one right here. Accounting. Increasing automation with AI, reducing the growth and opportunities. Advanced. Now, certifications are more important than college degrees. Okay. And here's one. I've been on this one for years. Psychology on the undergraduate degree. And if you get a graduate degree, then you're almost a slave to a university someplace, and then they're going to tell you what you can and cannot teach. Limited career path without graduate degrees. And getting a graduate degree does not necessarily mean that you are going to be able to get a job. So, and here's one. I love this one. And some of this is my study. English, humanities, philosophy, history, and sociology. Who need them? Seriously, who needs them? We can learn anything we want to learn about any place right now, anytime. All we do is go on the internet. And you hope that what you're reading is true. Declining enrollments, lower wage premiums, less marketable skills. Trust me, nobody wants you if you sort of went into philosophy. Nobody really wants you. I mean, who's going to hire you? Even if you get a PhD in it, you got to work. You got to be a slave to a college. Okay. And sociology is got to be one of the most useless disciplines ever in the history of college. Sociology, the study of our society. Well, we ain't changed jack yet. Our society is getting worse. Okay. Here's one. Art history. Good luck on that. Fine art. Oh, well, good luck on that too. Music, theater, and dance. Well, it says low starting salaries, long payback periods, narrow job markets, often requires supplemental skills on alternative career strategies. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, here's one. Education in general. Low salary, high payback period. Some fields within education may remain viable, but there's going to take specialization in a particular skill in order to make a decent salary in education. Okay. With homeschooling, AI, testing at home, who's going to take a shot at that? And here's one. Here's another degree that's becoming useless. Advertising, communications, Creative writing. Hey, with AI, hey, make me a play about horses. In 10 minutes, I'll have a play about horses. AI is a wonderful thing, but it's also going to be the demise of the brain. I think it's going to be the demise of the ability to be creative with the human mind. And the human mind is what came up with AI. So, listen, what can I tell you? Um, Culinary arts and fashion design, low starting salaries, limited career growth, need strong portfolios, complementary skills for success. In other words, you have to be able to do a lot of things. You got to have a big portfolio, and then they, I mean, again, with AI, this stuff I can. All you have to do is put a recipe in front of me, and I can cook anything. Okay. Oh, here's one. Here's one right here. Anthropology, archaeology, and here's one I really like: ethnic studies. Hey, Elk, yeah, what's that degree in ethnic studies? So you don't know what being black is all about? So you got a degree in that, huh? Okay, when you come back, when you get another one, okay, ethnic studies. What the hell is that all about? And here's one right here, the one that we certainly criminal justice, limited career opportunities without additional certification. It's the certifications that mean more than the degree these days. Okay, it requires real world experience and credentials beyond a bachelor's degree. So, so is college degrees on the way out, but certifications won't be. So, so it is better. It's like Microsoft. Microsoft got this thing that they want you to study and get paid for it. I mean, you got to pay them for this, all these taking these tests. I mentioned like a couple of weeks ago that paid $300 every time they took a test. I forgot exactly what field. Oh yeah, it was in one of those sociology fields. They had to take a test, psychology fields. Called the test cost $300, and every time you failed it and you take it again, it's another $300. So why don't we just learn the test and then do it that way? But anyway, degrees such as generalized business administration, broad computer science without continued learning, basic mechanical engineering, general accounting, and many liberal arts or creative arts degrees are increasingly considered obsolete, useless for direct employment in the year 2025. Useless complemented with specialization. Okay, so unless you have some great some great I don't know some added skills. Um, we really need to think about our education and about what we sending our kids to school for. Again, psychology, archaeology. I mean, all these things. I mean, who cares about a dinosaur that was here a million years ago? I don't. Where you gonna get a job at that? McDonald's don't care unless you can show them how we can get more meat and pay less for it. So again, college degrees. Is there anybody out there that disagree with this? Okay. There's a lot of hoopla over the weekend because a guy named Charles Price, 55 years old, was charged with murder. Well, everybody thought it's a great. After everybody thought it was a great judge, Charles Price. It wasn't him. Okay. This guy was a white guy, and he was on the 2300 block of Troy Highway in Raymer around 7:55 a.m. The guy's name is his name is Charles Price, but it's not the Charles Price that we think it is. The Judge Price. It's somebody else. Okay. So and this guy is 55. I think Charles. Yeah, he was in Vietnam. Yeah, so he's over 55 years old. Okay. Okay. Now, and to show you the stupidity of people, Here's a story about a woman who tears up a Little Caesars pizza because now this wasn't in Alabama. You would think this is a job in Alabama because she was charged $1 extra for extra sauce. So she tore up a Little Caesars restaurant after being charged an extra $1. Now she's going to be in jail for a long time and all her sauce going to be free. Okay. I'm just saying. So, and that's where that sociology thing came from. I'm telling you about that sociology thing came from. I don't get it. Okay, I don't get it. I mean, so all this money that these kids are paying for all these degrees, and they don't fix anything. I said outside of science. Okay, I don't think psychology is necessarily science. I think it's more manipulation than science. But that's just one man's opinion. Okay. Now, in our up the street from us, a little town called Birmingham, there's a woman who has been indicted on charges related to stealing money from the United States government and lying to special agents in the Veterans Affairs Office. Mhm. According to the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, the VA provides monthly benefit payments to eligible surviving spouses or dead veterans via the Dependency and Indemnity Compensation Benefits Program. Didn't know that. Uh, to be eligible, the DIC benefits program, a surviving spouse must meet several requirements, including having been married to to a veteran at the time of the veteran's death. Well, a woman, she wasn't married to him no more. She kept getting the money. Now she's going to jail. I don't know. I mean, they know when when you're married to somebody, right? Anyway, now moving on to something else. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I understand. And the mayor's been spending his weekend trying to convince people that he ought to have a right to hire who he wants to hire, which I agree. Again, his whole thing, though, is not. It is not. It is just not about hiring who he hires. I think he gets a right to hire who he wants to. But I haven't really heard a great argument for not hiring except for the money. Don't give him an extravagant salary that an average guy who coming in here, that you don't give him that kind of money. If he gets it, let him work for it. Let him get in there and see what he does and see if he, make him work for the additional money. Okay. Same thing you want to do. I don't know what that means, but I'll get to that one later. Anyway, but a lot of people, now let's just face it, let's just be honest here, okay? Can we all be honest when it comes to the mayor? Now I'm expecting somebody to call us in about 3 minutes or so, or somewhere around there, special guest on the virtual hotline. But it seems to me that we are taking out our personal grievances on the mayor's choice for this particular job. It doesn't seem to me that it's about profession. It's about whether or not the guy is qualified to do the job, and that's my only thing. I don't care if you hire your brother, your cousin, your mama, your dog to do it, whoever. I don't care as long as they can do the job. Okay, I don't really care who. I think again, elections have consequences, and so he gets to hire who he wants to hire. Now, hire him at a far greater rate than you would hire the average guy. Well, right now he's an average guy, and I think you should. I think you should think about that, Mr. Mayor. But whether or not he should hire him, I don't have a problem with that at all. And matter of fact, I wish somebody called me up from the city and say, "Hey, Elk, you want a job? I'll be right down there. I'll be down in a couple minutes." And all the people I know, see, I could have maneuvered my way into a job, but I don't want to work for anybody. To tell you the truth, I don't need another boss. Okay, I'm so used to doing it, being a boss. Okay, and let's go outside Alabama for a second, just for 1 second. Okay, I've always been against. Well, we're not going to go outside Alabama. I've always been against DEI and affirmative action. Why is that? Well, let me take this little short break and I'll come back and tell you. But I've always been for it. And General Daniel Chappie James made my point in an interview he did in 1975. Okay, so let me take my little break here. I gotta get my cup of milk, but I shall return uno momento. Okay, so don't y'all go nowhere. We'll be right back.
We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city when I die. I appreciate that.
Okay, enough of that. Good morning. I had to go out and take care of some things there. Back in the day, I know when affirmative action first came out, it was needed. Was it needed? Yes, it was. It was certainly needed. But it ended up doing exactly the opposite of what I think it was meant to do. It had people questioning whether or not people were qualified to do the jobs because of the program, rather than assuring people that these people were certainly qualified. Before that, if you were there, if people saw you there, they knew you were qualified to do it. Chappie James said that one of the biggest insults that he ever got is that somebody asked him, was he qualified to be a pilot? Now, that's a guy who of course, went to battle for this country, the first black general, a 4-star general in the United States Air Force. His name is General Daniel Chappie James Jr. Became the first 4-star general in forces. So that's one of the reasons why like Ronald Reagan said, one of the worst things you could hear is, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help you." Okay, I'm here to help you. Okay, he said that's one of the worst things you could possibly ever hear. Okay, now I'm waiting for my guest to come up. I think new chicken ventures opening daily. I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to work at a chicken place though. But again, brother get hungry enough, he'll do whatever he has to do. He'll yeah, okay. Yeah, but again, we back to Mr. Watkins. You can't pay if you can't get a job. Okay, you cannot pay your fee back if you cannot get a job. Okay, so well, it sounds good. Okay, it sounds good, but the reality is that you cannot do it unless you get a job. So I mean, so how else you gonna do it? Now here's a story right here that you guys will I think you'll enjoy this. There's a man who did something so abhorrent, so bad. McDonald's is hiring. Yeah, here that's like not having a job. Anyway, so there's a guy who did something so bad, okay, that the judge looked at him before he sentenced him and gave him this sentence. I mean, this is bad. I have never heard this in my life. He gave him 200 years in jail. And the judge says when he passes away, he is going to get another 200 years for trying to escape. So basically, he's going to give him 400 years of jail time. I don't exactly know what he did. Okay. But 200 years now. Okay, hold on a second. Give him 200 years now, and he's going to give him, when he dies, he sends him to another 200 years for the offense of escape. That's got to be crazy. What's going on there, Mr. Duke?
Mr. Elkins, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine.
Now, you and I don't agree on much, but I've been in and out of on your station this morning, and heard you say something earlier about the White House have a lot of DEI hires up there, don't they?
Oh, I would imagine that. Listen, I got some questions about some of the hires he had. One,
he got so many DEI hires up there, attorneys and the Secretary of Defense and all that, and just throw anybody on the job because they told him that they like him. All you gotta do is tell him that he like him a little bit.
Listen, once you're in the White House, you don't have to care what nobody says. But I do wonder. I'm still wondering about the Kennedy, and that's the only one that boggles my mind is the Kennedy guy. In the medical, he's not a doctor.
What about the attorney? What about the attorney that went after Comey and all of them because the other guy quit because he said they didn't have a case? So he hired some personal lady that with no experience, a DEI hire.
You talking about the attorney? You talking about Bondi?
This young lady here, people don't even know her name.
but she had been an attorney. She was too.
I'm talking about to be in that position, that the experience. She don't have the experience, and
that's why you hire people
and all that.
I know, but listen. When you get a brand new lieutenant, when you get a brand new lieutenant that comes in the military, he don't know jack either. But guess who's in charge of? He gets to be. He was put in charge of me. He was over me by position.
But Calvin, we've been hearing about DEI, that. So hell, what they were jealous because they wanted to do it themselves, or what?
I would imagine there may be a little jealousy, in there.
Just like the Michelle Obama came up with the healthy kids in the schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the Republican had a fit over that? You telling our kids what to eat. Now they're trying to tell us what to damn eat.
Well, they've been trying to tell us what to eat since 1970. First of all, they told us toilet paper was bad for you.
I know that, but Trump administration, the so-called conservatives, curmudgeon and all of them say, Michelle Obama trying to tell us what to eat. They're trying to tell us what to eat. It ain't right.
Right, but every first lady, all of them, from Jacqueline Onassis to all of them, from Martha Washington, have had their own pet peeves that they've tried to put forth in our country. I don't have a problem with that. Michelle had hers. Nancy Reagan had hers. Everybody's got their own.
Then they hired this guy, this Kennedy cat, that said he was at the airport, and he said, I was at the airport, and I looked at a few kids, and I can look at them and tell something wrong with them. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's what we got in the White House now.
Well, but maybe he can. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. You doctor, you can know.
Is he a doctor, Kevin?
Well, let me ask. Well, now let me tell you. Sankey. Only reason I found out I had diabetes is because he came in the studio one day and looked at my eyes and said, "You need to go to the hospital." I was feeling good, and I went over there. Man, my blood thing was like 750. So doctors,
because he can relate to it because he had it himself. Okay?
Right. But anyway,
yeah.
But I don't understand how Kennedy got in charge of this organization, HHS or whichever.
He told,
yeah.
But it's only one person that didn't get a spot that told Trump he loved him. Who was that, Cam? Told Trump, I love you. He didn't get a spot on Trump team. His name is Tim Scott.
Yeah, but Tim Scott, I don't like Tim Scott no way.
I know, but he showed more love than any of them toward Trump.
Well, next time he ought not tell him I love you. And that way
Somebody Somebody said that somebody went to reaching with me one day. You know when my game is tight, okay.
Right.
He tried to fast talk me, talking about we need him in the Senate, blah 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 blah.
Well,
So,
I can't figure out.
What about Marco Rubio? What about Marco Rubio? Huh?
I like him. What about?
Well, he took him out of his spot and gave him a spot on his team.
Okay.
Yeah. Tim Scott deserves a spot on the team too. Maybe because he was a blackie.
No, I don't think that's what
Yeah.
it is. Tim
Well,
Scott, wait.
Well, tell me another reason why, Kevin.
Because Tim Scott comes across as a person who, if you ask him if the moon is red, he'll look up there and know it's white and say, yeah, it's red. He doesn't sound like a person.
What about Ben Carson?
Ben Carson
what's his name?
Ben Carson.
Wasn't he a doctor?
Yeah, he was a doctor, and he hadn't proved nothing to
Why
nobody.
he's not over the health thing, over this Kennedy?
Now they put it, and again, I asked that question too. He was put into the housing HUD. I didn't understand how you put a physician. Listen, I don't know. If you're telling me that it has the look of favoritism,
hypocriteness.
I couldn't argue with that. I mean, he's a doctor. Why not put him in charge of?
I can go on and on with some other stuff, but you get the gist of what I'm talking about here. Hypocrite and
well, maybe so.
But again, a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
But wait a minute, Obama didn't put too many black folks in charge of anything. So get on him. He was a brother.
Trump said that he wasn't going to do it. He called every job that a black held. He said it was DEI.
Well,
every job that they held, and Trump went in that clean house.
I didn't.
He went in that clean house, but then he hired his own DEI people.
Well, he has a right to hire the own people he wants to hire.
Oh man.
So why?
I love to sit back and call this stuff out because they show clip on TV. You know, wonderful thing about TV nowadays. They can show you what you said out of your own mouth. Okay.
Yeah. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well.
But anyhow.
Yeah.
Did your team win the weekend?
Oh yeah. Notre Dame win. Yeah. And Alabama had a scrimmage. Okay. Alabama State had a scrimmage against A&M, but they still won. So we're gonna give them props for that. Yeah, that wasn't even.
Then Auburn disappointed me in the weekend. I wanted them to do like LSU did. I wanted them to lose that game so we can get us a new coach. But no, they had to go up there and.
They won.
Stupid game.
Oh, they won.
Auburn won. They won that game. It hurt my heart. Well, I wanted Hugh Freeze out of there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey.
All right, Doc.
Appreciate it. Listen, I thought Auburn lost. I don't know where my guest is. Gary. See, this is the problem with being on early. I've had to change my hours going to afternoons and evenings, so people won't have no excuse for not showing up. I mean, it ain't really, that. It's not really that early. I mean, and all you need is a cell phone. But I did have a guest. That's why I never tell people who's coming. That way, if they don't show up, I don't look bad. Okay. Said Michelle sent her kids to private school. Well, they all do. They all send it. And most people who got any sense will send their kids to private school. Oh yeah, I do, don't I, Don? Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. You never went down and picked up the ticket, brother. Let me see now. What it says right here, should a civilian be able to pay our troops? Government shutdown on troops may not get paid. I think, yeah. I mean, what's the difference in donating that they always have us doing? You remember, Willie, when they almost mandated, and Lord have mercy, don't be an E5 or above. When they come around with the combined, what is that thing they have us? I mean, you got to give money. I mean, if you're an NCO and you don't give no money, they look at you like you done did something wrong. So, I don't have a problem. Listen, the troops don't care where the money comes from. They just need to know they need to get it. They don't care where the money comes from. Okay? As long as they getting paid, that's cool with me. Do you really care where the money comes from? As long as it ain't stolen money, we're good. Okay. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all. Okay. Now I will say one thing. At first, the shutdown didn't bother me because they've never been this long before, and now I'm understanding that it may be that some of these folks who get food stamps won't be getting them That's getting serious when you have to feed your kids. Okay, now that's getting serious all right now. Now my problem is I can't tell who really is at fault here. I just can't tell who's at fault. The Republicans say that the Democrats want to give illegal aliens um, health care, or we can, I'd say this is one I think the president ought to just 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 take one on the chin. And so I'll tell you what, we're going to do that right now. But herein lies the problem. I just think I don't want people going around, and you know what month is coming up next, right? Thanksgiving month. And so a lot of people going to need a little help already. Okay, which we're going to do our helping hand thing this year, this helping hand thing again this year too. I'll let you know how that works out, how we're going to do it this year if I get some help to do it. So, well, come think about our troops are all well. Now you got a point there, Greg. Our troops are always paid by civilians. That's true. That's true because civilians pay the taxes. Yeah, so I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem, but I do see a problem with this delay, with this long ongoing fight between people who make a lot, 200 something thousand dollars a year, uh, and people that see what's that? Is that what did that stand for? Adoption. What does that stand for? Oh, United Way. Okay, right. Federal campaign. It's not the same as billionaire making payroll, sir. Well, it may not be the same, but it's still the same money. And again, like Greg said, our troops have always been paid by civilians. So that's no big deal. It doesn't make any difference where the money. I don't care. And they're going to get their money back anyway, probably. They can loan the government some money until they get some. I mean, then we're going to pay them back. So I don't have a problem with that. Do you have a problem with that? I mean, do you have a problem with? I mean, the guy who's overseas right now gets to send money home. He don't care where it came from. Okay, combined federal campaign. That's right. And the combined federal campaign, my lord, they made you feel guilty if you didn't want to give nothing to it. Hey, listen, it ain't my campaign. I mean, especially don't be an E5 or above. My lord, they just kind of they beat you and all kind of things. So I always had to give something. Ain't gonna give a whole lot to it, but I did give a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So you don't disagree with that, do you, Willie? Our troops are always paid by civilians, and that's true. Okay. I don't know where my guest is because right now he's a little late, so he probably won't be here. He had to take the kids to school, so I knew he was going to be somewhere out there on the streets. But we'll see if he gets in. If not, we'll see if I can get him on here tomorrow in his in his in his in his glory out there. And y'all don't know who it is when he gets here. Okay. So who do you guys want to hear from anyway? So because my problem, the reason I don't have a whole lot of guests is because when I get off the air, I can't think of who to call. There's so many people to call. So who do I call? So I don't end up calling nobody. So y'all tell me who you want to hear from. I'll do my best and get them on. Okay. The mayor comes on sometime, but right now he's going through his Watkins thing. Okay. Well, Willie, I am glad you asked that question. Every contribution comes with strings. The money we work for comes with strings. We got to pay taxes on it. Even though the government didn't help us get one little bit of it, we got to pay taxes on it. So I don't think we ought to be paying taxes on our income. It's our income. We work for it. Why in the world should a government entity take money out of my check before I see it? So everything has strings that comes with it. Okay, I don't care as long as these guys get paid. I think the president ought to give in on this one and pick this fight another day. It's getting too long now with people not being able to get the money that they need. And somebody gave me a list a little while ago, said just about every Somalian in a country is on welfare. What's up with that? I wish he'd send it to me in my thing so I can use it. Yeah, they got to send me stuff to my email, my messenger, so I can get it and put it on the air because I can't do it on my phone. But okay, let's see. What strings does this contribution come with? Except they're gonna pay him back, hopefully. and they may have to give them a little interest on the money, but okay, I just don't have a problem. I wonder what the whole military, which I'm just paying the troops, not buying equipment and things of that nature. At some point, though, this is going to end. But I just think that I've never seen it go. I mean, I've always in the army. We always had times where where the government was shut down, something like that. So that's why, because I joined when Carter was president of the United States, and then come Reagan, and then come Bush. So it has always happened, but it has never happened this long before, and that does bother me because I'm not a complete heel. I think people, people depending on these things, then doggone it, they sort of need to get it. They need to get it right away, so they can make some of that turkey and dressing for Thanksgiving. Turkey and dressing and some sweet potatoes and things of that nature. I went in the store the other day and I see all the stuff they're already on the shelf. Turkey dressing, the pans to put the stuff in. I'm just saying. I think I'm going to use my cast iron skillet and make me a thing of cornbread. Yeah, and make a little dressing since Z ain't going to be here anyway. I think he's the only person like my dressing. Because I really don't know how to cook it anymore. But I did forget to put some last year. I forgot to put some celery in it. Okay, for addition to the East Wing. I'm convinced y'all just don't like Trump. yeah, every president that has been in the White House has done something to the White House. I didn't even know that Obama put a basketball court in there. I certainly didn't know that Bush or somebody put a bowling lane in the White House. I didn't know that, because we didn't complain about it then. We're complaining about it now. We have done a lot of things in the White House. Now I understand there's some things that new plumbing, new AC and air conditioning, things of that nature. I understand those things get old and you got to take them out. But we sure do a lot of, complaining about Trump. Y'all got the TDS, the Trump deranged syndrome. I mean, the boy can't do nothing. Okay, he can't do nothing. I'm sure glad that he didn't paint the toilets in the White House black, because somebody swear him down. He did that because of black people. Okay, I'm just saying we can't we can't. I realize you don't like the guy, but come on, man. Yeah, everybody has done something. Okay, everybody has changed something in the White House. They all have. They all changed something in the White House. So I don't see what he did's a big deal. As a matter of fact, he said now that they're going to make it bigger, they'll be able to have more state-sponsored dinners, because right now you can only hold 200 people in there. He said if you want to hold more, then you're going to need more room, which is what they did. They got more room. Okay, that's all I'm just saying, y'all. Yeah, I mean, y'all do. Most of y'all got the Trump. It lasts for 35 days, John. I didn't realize that it was 1980. Oh, 1996. Oh, okay. Well, I was too busy trying to make a living then, so I didn't know that. I had Z was 5 years old. I mean, Emmanuel was 5 years old then, so I was thinking about how to feed him. Okay, so it lasted 35 days. Wow, I didn't know that. Because I was too busy trying to work. So when you're out there working, when you got something to do, you don't have time to worry about it. You don't see. Charles, why you always so hard on the brother, man? Why you so hard on the black man? Okay, you're always hard on the black man. Now, I realize that we politically are on different spectrums. I got no problem, but I don't mind you being a Democrat. I mean, you're my man. Yeah. Okay, when I say you're my man, I don't mean my man. You know what I mean? Not that kind of man. I mean, you're my buddy. Okay. Okay, sounds who likes seeing the president greeting heads in a state in a tent? You got that right. In the greatest country on God's green earth, we're gonna meet the brother in a tent. Okay, it's bad. It's bad enough that we got to use that old limousine that they got. Okay, I'm just saying. So let's be reasonable about these things. We want to bring our heads of state to America, and we want them to be treated in the lap of luxury. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Here's a guy. Okay, so whose butt am I kissing now? Tell me whose lips, tell me where these lips are planted on somebody's butt. Just tell me who. I don't get nothing from Washington, D.C. I don't get any extra money. I don't, nobody pays me for what I believe. I mean, so whose butt am I kissing? You know, I don't kiss anybody's butt. That's why I'm a moderate guy. But whose butt I be kissing? Okay, Trump is putting a tariff on Canada because they ran. Yeah, I know that. Listen, I don't blame them for that. Listen, they're gonna get in the game and play politics. Then that's on them. Hey, that's on them. I ain't mad at them. You know, because I saw the commercial that the Canadians are running, although I listened to his speech, I believe most of it, but not all of it. Okay, there's no political position that is 100% right. There's none. Okay, I'm not. Trump wouldn't know me from a roach in the wall in the White House, way up high. So why in the world would I want to kiss his butt? Although I did have an opportunity to meet him a couple of years ago when he came to Montgomery. Okay, but even then, I turned the opportunity down because I don't want anybody to say I was kissing somebody's butt. Okay, I was invited over to the embassy to meet him, but I didn't do it because I just didn't do it. Okay, you okay? So now I don't have to kiss anybody's butt, nobody's butt whatsoever. But I agree with people's certain philosophy, certain philosophical principle that they stand by, and I listen. I wish we could run America like a business, but we cannot. We cannot run the government like a business. And I used to say, it used to sound so good. It sounded good when Trump said it too, but you can't do it. There's just too many nuances in this thing called government. Because the first thing I would do is cut out foreign aid to everybody. But how you going to cut out foreign aid to everybody when they got your back on the southern hemisphere or the western part of the world? I mean, how are you going to do that? You can't. Yeah. And it does seem, listen, it does seem that Democrats don't really like America. At least not all the Democrats, of course. The people in don't. It seems like they don't like America. And again, there's buses leaving out here every day. Canada's waiting for you. They don't mind you coming up there. And moving in. They don't care. I mean, and you listen. You don't even have to. You don't even have to not go to war to go up to Canada. Now you can live up there. Uh-oh. Okay, what was that? You didn't want him to do like he do all y'all blacks that kiss him. Well, I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. Again, what you blame Trump for not doing a whole lot for black folks, but you didn't blame the quote unquote the first black president for not doing the same thing, except turning our kids into gay, telling them, oh yeah, he can go into the boys can go into the girls' bathroom if they think they're a girl. I mean, that's what whole Obama came down with in public school. So I don't, I don't know what that's all about, but that's okay. We good. I'm good. Anyway, my time's just about up anyway here. But as usual, it's always good to see you guys. And my guest couldn't make it, I guess, so I'll try to talk to him when I get off the show here and see if we can get just our own thing with him tomorrow. Okay. See, I'm thinking about what is the perfect time to do a podcast, a live pod. What is the perfect time? Would 8 to 10 be better than 7 to 9? I'm really thinking about that. What do you guys think? Y'all write it in the thing. Send me an email or something and let me know what you think. Or is this the best time? So that's what we want to know. What time is it better to do a podcast? I mean, I like this time actually. It's great, but I don't know. And I keep forgetting to tell people to share this, and we get a bigger audience. Okay, I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do to the end of the year. If I can look at this thing and see at least 100 people up there, then I'll just keep it the way it is. Between now and the end of the year, at least 100 people up there, then I'll do that. Okay. Other than that, we're gonna change this time. because I got to talk to the people. I got to, well, I'm well, you was one he turned gay. Okay, then. I don't know what exactly that means, but I'm a lot of things, but nobody ever tell you I was gay. If anything, I got the problem the other way. So now I'm not gay. Now we good. I don't, we don't play that. Homie don't play that. Okay. I'm just saying. Uh, but now if that's a lifestyle you like, I ain't mad at you. Okay. I ain't mad at you at all. If that's the way you roll, I'm not mad at you at all. Okay. I'm good. I'll let y'all roll the way you need to go, and I'll roll the way I need to go, and we just, yeah, we good. Okay. But if you ever get any proof that I'm gay, this is what you're gonna hear. Okay? Because somebody done got knocked the hell out. Okay, I'm just saying. So yeah, you don't see that. Thank you very much. Well, listen, guys, I enjoyed being with you this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you. Listen, I mean, you got this. You don't really have to applaud me for just doing my job. Okay, I understand. Okay. There you go. Anyway, so as we ain't hearing this, okay, that means I ain't knocked nobody the hell out yet. So I'm not gay. Okay, I got you. Okay. Some of y'all hear that too much in your neighborhoods already. Anyway, I gotta go. But you want to do like he did all your black little kisses, but well, I just like Trump. I like a man that walks like a man, talks like a man, get a pair of cojones on him to say what he pleases to say. But I don't like everything about him. I mean, come on, people. Like, I'm a nice guy, but everybody don't like me either. So it's I just like the guy, but I don't like everything about him. Again, I don't like the way we're doing immigration, but I understand we have to do it. But I don't like the way we're doing it. It's not that I don't think we shouldn't do it. I just think the way we're doing it. But in Chicago, they already put the word out. You block these people in, you might be graveyard dead. Okay, because they're not going to put up with this. You block people in, throwing things at them, stuff like that. Yeah, they ain't going to play that anymore. Yeah, I don't blame them either. I don't blame them. It's hard enough. That's why we can't get nobody around here to do the job. It's hard enough to do the job as it is, rather than always we got to fight the crook, and we got to fight, y'all. So we can't fight all of y'all at one time. Okay, right then. So that's the end. That's it. It's over. It's done for the day. I appreciate you guys tuning in the morning, and I love you all. Okay, not like that. I'm just saying, because see, Charles already thinks I'm gay. I mean, I love you with a humanitarian love, a love of a brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's kind of love I'm talking about. That's kind of love I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. Anyway, it is not the falling down that matters. No strength comes from falling. The strength comes from getting up every time you do. So, my word for the day, keep getting up. Don't fall and lay down. Keep getting up. And remember, we all have chapters in our lives, in our book. Don't let one bad chapter make you throw away the book. Good morning to you. It is a great day. A fantastic day. One of the best I've ever seen. It is a great day to be alive. Go out and do something for the world, or at least for somebody else. Okay? Do a random act of kindness today for somebody, and you'll see it'll make both y'all happy, them and you. Have a great day.
With grace.